Before we begin in this journey of Connect Groups, I want to invite you to download the Bless app. So for you to get the most out of the next Connect Group session and for you to join in with us as a church, we are going to love our neighbors strategically and practically together. The app is going to help us pray for our neighbors daily. It's going to help us listen to our neighbors. It's going to help us with the habit of eating with them, of serving them, but also lastly and most importantly, helping us create a habit of sharing the gospel message that has changed our life so that it might change theirs. So would you download the app? Here's the QR code, and I want to invite you to do that because it's going to help you in the weeks ahead put into practice the habit of sharing your faith. Welcome to this journey looking at our spiritual discipline of evangelism. Over the next several weeks, we're going to see that we are called to go, we are called to love, we are called to bless our neighbors as we have been loved and blessed by God. The calling card and the defining factor of us as Christians should be that we love God with all of our heart, our soul, our mind, our strength, and that we should love our neighbors as ourselves. If we stop and think about it right now, what would happen if all of the members, church members, followers of Jesus at Long Branch Community Baptist Church were taken out of our neighborhoods? If we moved, if we no longer went to the same jobs, went to the same grocery stores, went to the same places, would it be noticed? Would it be noticed that Jesus' love had been removed? That these disciples had been removed out of the neighborhood? Is it noticed in your life that you love God with everything and that you love your neighbors as yourself? We're going to find in this journey the next several weeks the truth that in Acts 17, Paul says that God has placed everyone exactly where they are at that point in time for a specific purpose. Are we living out that purpose of loving our neighbors? Are we living out that purpose to receive the blessing of faith in order to share the blessing of faith? We're going to look at Luke chapter 10 and the Good Samaritan and what does it mean for us to love our neighbors as ourselves, as the Good Samaritan loved the man who was hurting. This evening we're going to step into it and discuss, is there a difference between a metaphorical neighbor and a specific neighbor? Sometimes it's easy to love our neighbors when there's no name on it and it's general. But over the next 5 to 6 weeks, we're going to be calling ourselves as a church, as followers of Jesus, to specifics, specific people who need to hear the good news of Jesus Christ. We're going to consider the life of Abraham, how he was blessed in order to be a blessing to the nations. We're also going to see in the Great Commission that Jesus calls us to go and make disciples. Not a one-time go, not sometimes go, but that verb in Greek says as you are going. And so for us, over the next several weeks, how are we to go and make disciples? How are we to go and love our neighbor? Well, tonight, as your leader leads you through this, there's several assessments and several different activities that are going to help you. So you'll get a book this go around, and I encourage you to take this seriously because there are people all around us that are dying and going to hell because we have not lived out the truth that we have been blessed to be a blessing. We are not living out the fact that we are to love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength and to love our neighbors as ourselves. May we at Long Branch love our neighbors enough to pray for them, to listen to them, to eat with them, to serve them, and most importantly, that we would love them enough to share the gospel message that there is forgiveness of sins and eternal life in Jesus Christ alone, by grace alone, through faith alone, in Him alone. Have fun discussing tonight.